What's up? Peep Squad is in the building, baby. Peep Squad is in the building. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the situation at hand. Let's talk about what is going on. Wendy Williams has been out here doing her thing, baby. She's been out here shading, and she shaded the shit out of YFN Lucci and Lil Wayne. I was like, damn, and Reginae caught her. You know, Wendy Williams out here shading. She's also out here making allegations against, you know, R&B singer. His name is Sherrick, aka Lamont Smith, and Lamont Smith's wife. She responds to the situation and she's calling out Wendy. So it's going back and forth with this situation. So we're gonna see how it pans out, because Wendy Williams has made allegation that Sherrick had raped her allegedly, and she put it in her, you know, film, her documentary. So it is going down. But Sherrick, aka Lamont Smith wife, has responded to the allegation. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into OG from Basketball Wives. She's saying that she is forced to film. I was like, Lord have mercy, what is going on with this situation? There's a whole lot going on, so let's get to it. Let's just start with the situation. So it is going down with Wendy Williams. She came out here ready, and also we're gonna be talking about the new storylines for Basketball Wives 2 as well, and old storylines being refurbished. So we're going to get into that, Malaysia. So let's go. Let's get into it. So let's get into YFN Lucci. He really get dissed by Wendy Williams. She was not playing with him, point blank period, when she was talking about his ass on national TV. She basically said, what is going on with this man? What is he doing? She was like, oh, his name is YFN Lucci. And she was like, oh, he's supposed to be fly. Well, you ain't even that fly at 27. I was like, damn, what's going on, Wendy? You feeling a certain type of way. So basically Wendy's saying he's not even that fly, and why is he out here hanging with 17-year-olds? Because as you know, a young man that's 17 years old, he was arrested in a connection with the murder of James Adams, and also, you know, another young man was connected to that murder, and he was 20 something years old, and YFN Lucci's connected too. So YFN Lucci, he turned himself in. He's right now, he's in Fulton County Jail as we speak. So he's handling that situation. But she gets into his ass and she explains the situation, that this man had another man hanging out of the SUV, and she was just like, Lord have mercy. And then he had a wound to the head. He departed from this earth. There was another victim that she talked about, a pedestrian, you know, somebody on the road, basically helping the victim, you know, James Adams, and helping him through his situation to see what she can do, how she can help. So we're gonna find out if, you know, the witness says that she didn't see anything. And Wendy Williams was basically describing the whole situation, basically talking about how awful it was to be riding in traffic. And if you've seen YFN, you know, with his crew in an SUV, a man hanging out the window, and then boom, he gets thrown out. I was like, damn. And she was not, you know, mixing any words together. And she was just like, damn. And she said he had only one job to do. And one of his jobs to do is to keep his daughters off the pole. Like, Lord have mercy. And she's basically saying, Wendy Williams is saying that the 17-year-old that was arrested in connection with the murder of James Adams, you know, the 17 and the 20-year-old need to snitch. They need to tell what's on their mind. They need to let the people know what's going on and what's happening and the situation. I was like, damn. It's one of them type of situations, for real, for real. I was just like, Wendy is not playing around. And she was just, you know, reading him for filth. So I was like, what's going on with this situation? Like, it's crazy how she came at him. She came at YFN Lucci, basically saying, like, you know, you're worthless, and Reginae need to run from you, and hopefully she'll stay away from you. I was like, damn, she wasn't even playing with the situation. And she also, you know, basically was just looking at him like, you're a father of 4. Anyway, Reginae need to move on with the situation. And then she lists his charges, and she was just like, damn, all you had to do was one thing, and you couldn't even do that. So I was like, damn, she ain't playing with that situation. She feeling a certain type of way about YFN, and she made it be known, and she didn't just, I was just like, damn, Wendy, she was feeling a certain type of way. And then she also made it known that Reginae is a friend of the show, and she also wants, she's happy that Reginae did unfollow, YFN on all social medias, and she's just basically saying that, girl, you need to get it together. And she's also criticized her too as well, because she's like, Reginae caught her trying to give relationship advice. Who is she? She's only like 21 years old. Like, I'm gonna call her up and ask her for relationship advice if I'm going through a divorce. Like, come on. And she said basically, you are privileged, so, and you got enhancements. So she's talking about her breasts being done and everything else like that. So I was like, ooh wee, baby, Wendy is feeling a certain type of way. And she was like, you just need to leave that man alone, because ain't your father in trouble? Then she went after Lil Wayne. She basically talked about Lil Wayne, and she was like, listen, let me tell you, I wouldn't even hold a blow dryer because it represents a gun. She goes, I wouldn't even hold a lighter that represents a gun when you smoking them blunt. So basically she's calling out Lil Wayne, getting caught out there with all them drugs. He got caught up with, heroin, cocaine, cough syrup. He got caught out there, with pills and a whole 9 yards. He got caught out there with everything, baby. So I was like, And she was like, if I was him and I was on probation, I wouldn't even hold a picture of a gun. I wouldn't even hold a blow dry. I was like, damn, she was getting in. This ain't the first time she got on Lil Wayne and his charges. So basically, she's just telling Reginae to move forward, move on. Hey, what's up, Miss T? Hey, what's up, Rashida? And so I'm just like, Lord have mercy. Wendy Williams went in. She was talking her ish about, Mr. YFN, basically. And then, Wendy Williams started to act out the situation with YFN. She was like, oh my God, just imagine. I was like, oh boy, she was putting ice on the fire, baby. Because especially when she started to talk about Bruce Willis, and how Bruce Willis was in, one of these stores, and he didn't want to wear a mask, and he was asked to leave, and then he just bounced, and then he realized he made a mistake. He shouldn't have did what he did. And she goes, he feels entitled because he's a legend, because he's a star, because he's an icon, with attitudes like that. That's why these kids are messing up. And that's why YFN is out here, acting like his shit don't stink. And he's out here getting charged, with murder, having a man hanging out the van. Could you imagine that? And a poor pedestrian calling 911, help, come on the way. She was reacting it out. And it was just like really in poor taste. But you already know Wendy Williams, she gonna get in where she fits in. So she was acting out the murder that YF is accused of. So it was just like, damn, and she was acting like she was on a 911 call. I was like, girl, what are you doing? I was like, Lord have mercy. Wendy Williams was going in with this situation. So I was just like, damn. And she went in on Lil Wayne. I was like, But Wendy Williams also lets us know, that she's having, a movie, and she has a TV show, a documentary, and a movie, Wendy Williams, What a Mess. She has that coming out in January too as well. That's going to be on Lifetime. And she also has Wendy Williams, the movie, coming out too, that's going to be on Lifetime. And this is where she explains that she was, sexually assaulted by legendary singer, Sherrick, aka Lamont Smith. And she said, so she gets into the situation, she starts to describe what happened. I'm like, Lord have mercy, like she ain't holding back. And she went in on that situation basically to say that, she threw some shots too as well, because Wendy Williams said, thank God I'm not, on drugs, thank God I'm disease free, thank God I'm this and that, because she didn't even know that, Sherrick had died. She didn't even know that he died in 1999. So he's no longer here anymore. So he's gone. His wife came out. She has some things to say too as well about the situation. But let's get into it. Wendy Williams basically was saying that she was a disc jockey back, in Washington D.C. And that's when she had met, Sherrick. And he's like a one-hit wonder. He had one song, Lamont Smith. And so basically, she was interviewing him, and he he turned around and he interviewed her, and she was like, oh, and he was very engaging. And not only that, he was engaging, he basically took over the interview. He had her memorized. She was feeling a certain type of way about, you know, the interview, and she liked him. You know, he looked like, you know, Calvin Haunter. He looks just like him. So it is what it is with that situation. But I was like, Lord have mercy. When she tells what happened with the situation, it just really sounds really bad too, as well, to be caught up in a situation, because Wendy Williams thought that she was going to be chilling, having a good time and hanging out, you know, with this star that's on the radio that has a hit right now. She interviewed him, and basically he invited her to go back to, you know, his hotel room because, you know, he was having an album release party. So she came through, you know, so she went to his hotel. He was like, let's wash up. He introduced cocaine to the situation, and they end up getting high as a kite. He was in the shower allegedly, and she was sitting on the bed, and she was continuing to party and sniff her white lines. She was doing her thing in a room. He was in the shower. I guess he came out, and when he came out, that's when the alleged assault took place. So she was just like shocked, horrified. She said she went home and she washed up and she cleaned up, and she said she just kept it in the back of her mind and she just let it stay there and didn't focus on it. But she's very happy that the Me Too movement started, but she basically just put her situation in a box and kept on moving. And she thought that it wasn't important to say who the person was that, you know, allegedly, you know, assaulted her and took, you know, what he shouldn't have took from her allegedly. And so, you know, she kept it a secret. She kept it to herself, and now she's able to expose the story. And she was like, well, bad for, you know, Lamont Smith, bad for his children, bad for his kids, bad for his wife. But I'm telling my story. She says she knows there's going to be some backlash. They're going to feel a certain type of way, but this is her story to tell. So you guys let me know what you think about that situation. I was like, Lord have mercy. Hey, Linnell, what's going on? How you doing? So I was just like, Lord have mercy. So she's basically saying that she don't care about how the wife feel. Why would she? She don't know who the wife is. She don't know who his children is, you know. So basically she knew that there was going to be some uproar with the situation, but she ain't worried about the situation. She's telling her story, making her money. Is going to be what it's going to be. I was like, damn, you know, it's her story to tell. And, you know, why would she feel sorry for, you know, his wife or his children if he allegedly assaulted her? She don't got no remorse. She don't owe them nothing. You know, some people will say, oh, well, she shouldn't have said anything. And that is what, you know, the wife of Sherrick is actually saying. He's actually saying that his wife is saying that her name is Lynne, you know, Lynne Smith, Lynne Carter Smith. So basically she's coming out and she's saying that she doesn't understand why Wendy Williams is coming out with this story. Let that man rest in peace. He's a good man. He's a good father. He was a good husband. She said Sherrick was a beautiful man, a beautiful soul. He was a genius with a voice like an angel. She told, you know, she told Page 6 that it's so painful for, you know, Lamont Smith's 3 children and also his nieces, his nephews, and his siblings. And she was like, the soulful singer died, her husband, in 1999. Why is Wendy Williams hashing up the situation when he is not here to defend himself? I was like, Lord, but it's Wendy Williams' story and she gonna tell it, and now she's proud. Now she's ready to tell it. And Wendy Williams said that she's glad that she ain't dead. When she found out that he was dead, she was like, like, why would she have any remorse, or why would she feel any sympathy for his family? Because this is her story to tell. There's a lot of people that have been, you know, taken away from this earth, has been assaulted. And, you know, when they tell their stories, whether the person is live or not, you know. So, Lamont Smith's wife, she's very upset. She's very mad with the situation. She's feeling a certain type of way. And she was like, my husband is not here to defend himself. He's gone. He's been gone for almost 21 years. It's 21 years ago, you know, that he passed away. So why is she bringing this up? Why is she doing this? Why is she hurting our family? So, you know, Lamont wife, you know, Lamont Smith's wife, she's feeling a certain type of way. She is very upset and she is very unhappy with the situation. That's why she spoke on it, because she got wind of, you know, what was actually going to be in a documentary and the movie of Wendy Williams. And so she said it just saddens her so much that this is happening to her family, these allegations, and he's no longer here to defend himself. He's not around, and, you know, it's only her side of the story. We don't know what really happened. So You guys tell me what you think about that situation. I was like, Lord have mercy. Shit is hitting the fan, baby. The shit is hitting the fan. Hate to wonder what's going on. Yes, the shit is hitting the fan. It is hitting the fan quick, fast, in a hurry. But you guys already know that Wendy Williams shit is going to be off the chain. Her documentary and her movie is going to be off the chain. She might have a part 2 or she might not. But you already know she don't give a damn about people's feelings, because if she did, she wouldn't be talking shit that she talks about them. There's certain people that she used grace with, and there's certain people she just go in. Like she went in on, Reginae Quarter and her business, her mind, her advice, and all that other good stuff. So I was just like, what's going on? What's going on, Happy Days? How you doing? So what's going on, LSW? How you doing? What's going on, LaShonda Jones? So that's the situation. So Wendy Williams came out and said that she was, assaulted by R&B singer, legend, icon. I don't know. I don't really know his music. I know one of his songs. I guess I'll call, you call, we call together or something like that. Lord have mercy. Help me, Jesus. So, he had one hit, but then he still did make the charts. But he wasn't, I guess the drugs and the alcohol got to him. And, he was having a comeback. Before he died in 1999, Lamont Smith, a.k.a. Sherrick, was basically on a comeback, and he wanted to get back into the music business, and he's a writer too as well. He wrote music, but he ended up passing away tragically. But also when Wendy Williams did her interview with Daily News and she talked about the situation, she was really like hardcore. She was like, I'm glad I'm alive. I'm glad I'm living to tell this story. I'm glad I'm not sick and diseased. I'm here to tell my story. So, and then she also said that she said, well, his wife, his children, they're gonna have to deal with the situation because this is my story and I'm telling it. I was like, Lord, Wendy Williams is hitting the streets. She's hitting the streets hard. Anyone remember that dude? I don't. I know who he is because he comes up in my playlist when I play music on YouTube. But what was his song? His song was like, I Called. I don't know. No, but I did listen to the song. It goes Just Call. The song name is Just Call. He's on YouTube. He can actually sing, you know what I mean? But he wasn't someone I heard growing up listening to, or my parents or my aunts or family members or friends listen to. But I did hear, that one song that, that made the charts or whatever, or went number 1 or whatever the case may be. So that's that situation. So Wendy Williams is out here, no holds barred. She don't like YFN Lucci that much, and the way that she described, the 911 call was crazy, and she acted out the scene. And if you guys, let me see if I can, here's a 911 call. Let me put this on hold. So she acted out this 911 call, but only the part of the woman, the pedestrian that called the police when, James Adams, departed from this earth. So she act out the lady calling, which is just like, Lord. Here we go.
I'd like to know what for the 2679 with the address of the emergency.
We need an ambulance. Somebody is laying out. Somebody, I don't know if he barely.
Let me connect you to the line.
Somebody just threw him out of the car.
Let me connect you to the ambulance.
Huh? He's still trying to fight for his life.
EMS, what's the address of the emergency?
Baby, can y'all please get an ambulance here? This man is dying. He's shot in the head. He just took his last breath, man.
What street are you on, ma'am? Can you give him your location, please, for the ambulance to get the guy some help?
What is his address? Man, he made just took his last breath, man.
Man, we have help on the way already. Tell me exactly what happened.
We don't know. Me and my sister, we were just walking down the street, and somebody just rolled down the street with a man hanging out the car. They just pushed him out the truck and left him for dead.
Ma'am, I thought you said he was shot in the head.
Yes, he is shot in the head. They threw him out the car. He just died. He just took his last breath.
We have the ambulance already on the way, okay?
Okay.
And can you tell me what color vehicle?
Let me go ahead and get fire and PD and round.
Can you tell me what color vehicle he was stolen from, please?
White.
A white car, truck, or SUV?
SUV.
What direction did the SUV
Yes,
go?
his whole body was just hanging out the car.
Listen, just stay on the phone. Can you tell me if you saw any of the people that were driving the car, whether they
No, I
adults or
didn't see the
kids?
people 'cause they were driving. They were driving real fast. And we
Okay.
seen his.
All right.
So that's the 911 call, which is sad, and that's just, you know, an awful thing to hear, and for that young lady to go through with her friends. And then also, you know, the young man that's no longer here, James Adams, you know, for his family to hear. But Wendy Williams was on her show acting out, talking about help, come fast. I was like, Wendy, yes, you were right. She was on her game. She was on the money. She was doing it. And today, baby. What's up, Eva? What's going on? How you doing? Wendy made a 911 call. No, Wendy was acting out a 911 call of YFN Lucci, you know, situation with him being charged with murder. You know, YFN Lucci is charged with felony murder. He's charged with aggravated assault. And he's also charged with unlawful for a person employed by, associated with criminal street gang activity, whether that falls under a lot of different things. And also possession of a firearm, doing the commission of a felony person of another. So, you know, that situation, that's the 911 call. Wendy Williams was kind of acting out the lady on the phone, you know, little small pieces of it when she was describing what happened to, you know, YFN Lucci, his situation, and Lil Wayne, and also Reginald Carter. She was like, yo, she was on the money today. She definitely was. She was, you know, basically calling him out on his ish, but it also seems insensitive too as well to the family, because then she put her head down and she was acting like the 911 call. She put her head down like she was, you know, coddling a baby, but she was actually acting out the 911 caller, coddling, you know, James Adam, the deceased male. And, you know, she went overboard. She definitely did went overboard, but she was on the money. I am honestly waiting for the basketball wife part. I know. So we're done with the Wendy situation. Lord have mercy. Wendy's situation was more fresh and new, so we was going to get into that. So, where am I at now? So here we go. So we're going to get into the basketball situation. Yes. Let me see. We're going to start off with OG, because, you know, she's in the title. That was sick to watch. Yes. Okay. Thank you. I thought that was bad. You know, we joke, we have fun, we do blase in the third, but I just like, damn, like that's just way too much, you know. It seems very insensitive, but she's also helping out the victim's family and getting public opinion sway from YFN Lucci, Lil Wayne, and Reginald Carter. But, you know, it just really seemed insensitive, because would she do that to, you know, somebody of a different race? So let's get into the situation. Let's talk about basketball wives. Let's get into OG.